Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And once again, a hot weather window. In fact, the hottest day that we've seen so far this year today. We did officially reach 100 degrees yesterday. Today a little bit warmer than that. As we take a look down at the beautiful Columbia River from our Waterville Sky-Fi Tower camera. And you can see just part of Eniat there along Highway 97A and a little bit of cloudiness out there, but boy, it sure didn't keep the temperatures from just climbing into the triple digits all over the Wenatchee Valley area and also north central Washington. We're not going to stop with that. We are going to continue to see those hot temperatures today. 100, we did reach that and went above that a little bit. 97 tomorrow, and then notice by Friday a pretty big cool down. Those temperatures in yellow for all of us, and that also includes Spokane and Moses Lake. Moses Lake 103 degrees today, so moderate to high risk for heat-sensitive folks out there. Just stay inside and crank that air conditioner up. We have about a day and a half to go, and then we will see much cooler temperatures. We'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. We'll have a complete, up-to-date results of the primary election from yesterday. And Chelan County could be in line to recover an additional share of the state sales tax to fund affordable housing projects. But first, we begin tonight in races throughout Chelan County. Linda Harold is headed to the November general election in the race for an at-large Wenatchee City Council seat. Her opponent has yet to be decided, but Jorge Chacon held a slim lead over Lyle Marquardt on Tuesday evening after the first round of ballots were counted. Harold received 2,243 votes, or about 48%, to Chacon's 1,315 votes, which was about 27%. Marquardt received 1,145 votes, and that was 24%. Incumbent Mike Cooney and former Mayor Bob Getty will face off in the race for Chelan Mayor. Getty received 568 votes, or 48%, to Cooney's 496 votes, about 42%. Stan Morse was eliminated from the race with 102 votes. Meanwhile, Eniat voters picked mayor candidates Michael Buckingham and John Alt to face off in November. Buckingham received 137 votes to Alt's 121. Sarah Tula Marie Stenberg finished a distant third with 20 votes. Meanwhile, in Douglas County, Megan Vibert and Lyle McClune will face off in the November election to fill a vacant seat on the Eastmont School Board. Vibert and McClune were the top vote getters in last night's primary election returns. Peter Smith came in third. The race for mayor of Waterville has been whittled down to Jill Daling Thompson and Lloyd Smith, with third place going to Charles Driver. J.D. Greening was a distant third, but he dropped out of the race prior to the election. Bridgeport voters favored Zeke Martinez and Matthew Shue for mayor. In Mansfield, voters overwhelmingly approved a levy for fire and emergency service for Douglas County Fire District 5, with 76% saying yes. Well, Link Transit's effort to increase its sales tax 0.2%, was approved by voters in Tuesday's primary election. Though the measure was narrowly rejected by Douglas County voters, the support it received in Chelan County put it over the top. The Link tax increase will be used to pay for expanded service, routes, and new buses. There are still outstanding votes to be counted, but approval of the Link Transit tax increase seems certain. Chelan County voters are approving the tax increase by about 58 to 42%. Douglas County was a different story, though, with the tax increase failing by 19 votes, 1,884 no votes to 1,865 yes votes. Also in a two-county vote, Rivercom's effort to continue its sales tax received big support from both Chelan and Douglas County voters. The Wenatchee Valley's 911 system will see a continuation of a 0.1% sales tax that's been in place since 2009. In Chelan County, voters were approving the tax with a whopping 85% support, while in Douglas County, voters gave it 83% support. The 2009 tax for equipment upgrades was due to expire this year. Well, Chelan County could be in line to recover an additional share of the state's sales tax to fund affordable housing projects. The funding is made available through a new program authorized by the legislature in the last session. Commissioner Doug England says a shortage of adequate low-income housing affects all areas of the county.
I know in the Lake Chelan area, teachers that have decided that they would accept the position only to turn it down once they start shopping for homes. And they need to find a place that they can afford. We have people that live in Indiat and as far away as Brewster and Okanagan that travel every day to come and work in the valley. And we need to kind of make that more affordable.
The program is currently in the rulemaking process, but Commissioner Kevin Overbay says the county and its small cities could be eligible to recover up to 1.5 cents a year of additional state sales tax proceeds.
The city participates, then they would get 0.72. The county would get the other 0.72. If the city does not participate, then we would get the 1.4 in both that city as well as the unincorporated. So basically, Commerce has the onus to come up with the rules. They are actually, we're doing a webinar today at noon. They are having another one at 2 o'clock to actually talk about the rulemaking piece. They're hoping to have the rules out by about October timeframe.
Commissioners emphasize that this is not a new or additional local sales tax, but a remittance from the state's share. The current state sales tax rate is 6.5%. Local sales and use tax rates vary from 0.5% to 3.9%, depending on the location. Coming up next, the Williams Flats fire burning near Lake Roosevelt is spread now to over 18,000 acres. An explosion of some sort in a shed in downtown Twist started a fire that destroyed both the shed and a house late Tuesday afternoon. A hydraulic pump was the cause of a fire yesterday afternoon at the Wenatchee Waste Management Facility. And scam calls, allegedly from the Social Security Administration, are sweeping the country, including right here in the Wenatchee Valley. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community. And that's pretty useful for everyone.
Make plans to attend the August 30th grand opening of the all-new Goodwill on Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick.
Welcome back. In another news, the Williams Flats fire has grown now to over 18,000 acres as hot, dry weather coupled with extremely difficult terrain hamper containment efforts. The fire, which is now 25% contained, started on August 2nd along the eastern portion of the Colville Indian Reservation in the designated game reserve. It was reported yesterday that aerial suppression efforts were temporarily shut down after 2 personal drone aircraft were spotted flying over the fire.
All types of firefighting activities were suspended until it was able to be confirmed that that intrusion had been eliminated. So in other words, whoever was flying the drone put their drone in there, and all the planes had to land until they could confirm that that drone was no longer there.
Drones and other private aircraft are restricted from flying within a 10-mile radius of the fire area. Roads have been closed to the area, plus other roads which could access the fire area. The entire area is now under a level 3 leave now evacuation. Officials say homes are not immediately in danger, but that the only road out may be cut off by that fire. Colville Tribal Natural Resource Law Enforcement officers are asking boaters to stay clear of the firefighting efforts at Lake Roosevelt recreational area. In other news, an explosion of some sort in a shed started a fire that destroyed both the house and a shed late Tuesday afternoon in downtown Twisp. Crews from Okanagan County Fire District 6 fought the fire late into the night as it continued to burn in the ceiling area of that home. Nobody was home at the time of the fire and there were no injuries. The cause remains under investigation. A hydraulic pump was the cause of a fire yesterday afternoon at the Wenatchee Waste Management Facility. Chelan County Fire 1 District 1 Chief Brian Brett says the fire damage was restricted to an interior corner of the building, which did sustain some heat and smoke damage. The fire was reported around 5:15 yesterday. The waste management facility is closed indefinitely until repairs are made, which could take a few days. Scam calls allegedly from the Social Security Administration are sweeping the country, including the Wenatchee Valley. The federal government says Social Security scams have even surpassed thieves claiming to be from the IRS. Tens of millions of dollars have been scammed from Americans this year alone. Just this week, a Wenatchee resident received this call.
Urgent message. Hi, this is Officer William Nelson from Social Security Administration. The nature of this call is to inform you about some legal enforcement actions filed on your Social Security number. We have got an order to suspend your social at very right moment, because we have found many suspicious activities on your social. Before we go ahead and suspend your number, kindly call us back on our number, which is 479-370-0023. I repeat, it's 479-370-0023. Thank you and goodbye.
In this case, the callback number had been disconnected by Tuesday afternoon. The Social Security Administration advises people to contact their local Social Security office or call 1-800-772-1213 if they receive such a call. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor. Naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, members of the Wenatchee Valley and local law enforcement gathered last night in celebration of National Night Out. Here with more on the night's festivities is NCWLIFE's Kyle Montgomery.
Residents from around the Wenatchee Valley gathered last night on the hottest day of the year at the Eastmont Community Park for National Night Out, a night dedicated to enhancing the relationship between citizens and law enforcement in the community. The event featured different forms of first responders such as law enforcement, EMS, and firefighters, along with different community organizations and booths, and a helicopter people could hop inside and get a tour of. Citizens from around the valley were encouraged to come and interact with off-duty law enforcement and emergency personnel in an open and inviting setting that most people normally don't get to have. Community representative and event organizer Norma Gallegos says the event is extremely important not just to her, but to the community as well.
National Night Out is a very special evening for me because I like to gather all communities, everyone, English or Spanish, black or white, anyone out there that perhaps has not had the opportunity to be near an officer in a very positive way. So this is the night. I've been involved for about 10 years, and it is amazing how our local government works closely together, getting our mayors, our chiefs, our sheriffs. It is amazing.
Gallegos continued by saying events like these can really be a part of a bigger solution to problems around the nation.
How do we show respect? How do we show that we are here to be part of a solution when we are currently facing difficult times in our nation, where crime has significant numbered and hurt us in different ways as we see the media? And many times, to my personal experience, we hear a lot about the negative, but forget the numbers of calls that come through, that our first responders are the first ones to be there and take care of us.
Also on display for the public at the event was a police dog demonstration from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, where a fellow officer was tracked down and attacked by a canine. A question and answer forum was also held at the event, where community members could ask different lead law enforcement personnel questions in regards to the valley. Volunteer firefighter Mark Collins says the event not only benefits law enforcement, but other emergency personnel as well.
The firefighters in the valley, and develop a relationship with them so that they can understand a little bit more about what they do and realize that they're members of our community as well, and all the great things that we can do when we work together as a team.
East Wenatchee Mayor Steve Lacey told NCWLIFE how National Night Out is one of the most positive events in the community for all involved.
I just want to say that, number one, it's really nice to have the National Night Out here at East Wenatchee this year for the first time, and an opportunity to acknowledge all the law enforcement personnel, all the first responders, and all the other people who contribute to safety here in our valley, and particularly to get a chance to let them mingle and show that they are truly benefactors of our community by putting on this event and mixing with all the people here.
The 35th anniversary of the event was celebrated not only in the Wenatchee Valley, but around the world as well, and will continue to be on the first Tuesday in August for the foreseeable future. With NCWLIFE, I'm Kyle Montgomery.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Before we get to those details, let's take a peek outside our weather window in a very dramatic shot looking down from our Waterville Sky-Fi Tower camera. You can see ENIAT down at the bottom of your screen. Of course, the beautiful Columbia River. It almost looks like rain showers, does it, over portions of the Columbia River Basin, but really just hot weather and some actually evaporation coming up, as we have seen these temperatures in the century mark, triple digits all over North Central Washington today. The Wenatchee area unofficially no different. We saw the hottest temperatures that we have seen all the year today. Unofficially, our high temperature in the Wenatchee area, look at that, 101 degrees. 88 now is our normal high temperature. That's clicked down a notch. So our normal now for another week or two will be 88 instead of 89 degrees. Look at where we started this morning. 72 our overnight low. 63 is where we should be. Record high, we almost made it there. 103 degrees set back in 1972. We still may even tie that. We'll see our official high temperature by tomorrow at this time. 52 is our normal low, and that was set in 2002. 5:46 our sunrise now. Sunset at 8:26. Let's take a look at what we can expect as far as smoke goes. We're seeing plenty of that as we make our way through the day today. Here we are in the Wenatchee area. We did see some smoke and have been seeing that, but look to the west of Spokane. This is where the fire is, the Williams Flats fire. Also a fire up around British Columbia, and this is smoke. The darker the color, the more the smoke, and boy, by the time Spokane gets into this evening and into our overnight hours, it is going to be very unhealthy air over into eastern Washington. Nothing like that here, luckily, tonight as we take a look at our surface loop. Really not a bad forecast as we make our way through the next 7 days. Mostly clear, breezy, and mild tonight. You can see the clear skies, but also keep your eye on this area of low pressure, and there's also area of low pressure right here off the coast of Oregon that will affect our weather as we make our way into the end of the week. For Thursday, mostly sunny, still hot tomorrow, but notice a few more clouds, especially by the afternoon. These are kind of mid and high level clouds, so not a very strong or thick cloud deck tomorrow, but enough to keep our temperatures down a little bit than we saw today. For Friday then, things are changing. Partly cloudy skies, a 20% chance of thunderstorms late in the day. They will be scattered throughout central, south central, and eastern part of the state. But by Saturday, look at that, mostly cloudy, a 40% chance of thunderstorms. thunderstorms. Much cooler as well, as the whole state will basically see a chance for thunderstorms. High temperatures only around 85 degrees for Saturday, and even cooler than that as we make our way into Sunday. Partly cloudy skies. You can see the cloud cover around Washington. Most of the moisture right here, though, up into British Columbia and over into the panhandle of Idaho. Unseasonably cool for Sunday with high temperatures only about 80 degrees. So we're talking 21 degrees cooler by the time we get into Sunday. And then we see a slow warm up as we begin our next work week. Monday, sunny and warmer. Tuesday, the same. We'll see mostly sunny skies and warmer temperatures. A little bit of this cloudiness may spill over the Cascades into eastern Washington. And by the end of the day on Tuesday, yeah, our temperatures back into about 85, even into the upper 80s. And that will be our situation as we move past Tuesday into the middle of next week. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune 7-day forecast. 70 degrees our overnight low tonight. We'll see another hot one tomorrow, as we mentioned. One more day, 97 for Thursday, and then the cool down begins on Friday. Remember, a 20% chance of thunderstorms Friday. That goes up to a 40% chance of storms on Saturday, with highs then only around 80 degrees, 81 on Sunday with partly cloudy skies, and then a slow warm up on both Monday and Tuesday with highs then in the middle to upper 80s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
A sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. The Wenatchee Apple Sox took a giant step closer to the playoffs last night with a big 16-2 win over the Ridgefield Raptors at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, has more.
The Apple Sox won again, their 8th consecutive victory and 13th straight at home with a 16-2 triumph over the Ridgefield Raptors. Wenatchee opening up the series win which is now tied for their largest margin of victory this season and inching closer to that playoff berth. Coming into this ball game, they knew that they had to win 3 times to guarantee a playoff spot, but still had plenty of other scenarios closer to inching that playoff spot. So we'll see what happens. The Sox potentially could clinch a playoff spot on Wednesday night for the first time since 2013. First pitch at 6:35. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you much, Joel. Wenatchee scored 2 in the first, 4 in the second of last night's game, added another 6 runs in the 6th to put it away. Torrin Montgomery had 2 doubles and drove in 4 runs in his 3rd game as a Sox. Also making his Wenatchee debut was Jermaine Ducham, who went 2 for 4 with 3 runs and an RBI. Gavin Gorell improved to 4-2 on the mound, going 5 innings, allowing 2 runs on 6 hits with 7 strikeouts and 3 walks. Wenatchee and Ridgefield battle again tonight, 6:35. Jake Somm on the mound for Wenatchee. He's 3-1 with a 3.4 ERA. Raptors haven't announced their starter for tonight. Let's check the Les Schwab scoreboard and see what else happened in the West Coast League on Tuesday. Nick Adams hit a home run, was 2 for 3 at the plate, scored 5 times and drove in 3 runs to lead Victoria to a 15-3 win at Port Angeles. Harrison Spahn was also 4 for 5, and Gus Wilson contributed 3 hits and 3 RBIs for the Harbor Cats. Andy Atwood scored on a wild pitch in the top of the ninth to complete the Corvallis comeback as the Knights knocked off the Bellingham Bells 5-4. 4. James Sashin and 3 other Cowlitz pitchers combined on a 5-hit shutout of Yakima Valley as the Black Bears prevailed 2-zip. Walla Walla brought 12 men to the plate in a 7-run 5th inning and ran away from Kelowna 10-2. Emmanuel Dean was 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs, and Justin Foles was 3 for 5 with an RBI to lead the Sweets. John Jensen was 2 for 4 with a home run to lead Portland past Ben 7-5. So what does all this mean? Well, Wenatchee and Victoria remain tied atop the North Division second half standings at 16-6. Port Angeles' loss drops the Lefties to 4.5 games back. Everyone else is eliminated from the second half standings. Bellingham's loss drops the Bells to 4.5 games behind Wenatchee in the chase for the final playoff spot. If the North goes to Victoria for the second half, the Lefties are still technically alive, 6 games back. Magic number for Wenatchee, 1. A victory over Ridgefield tonight would put the Apple Sox in the playoffs for the first time since 2013. That would lock Wenatchee in for the second best overall record in the North, and the Sox could still win the second half championship. The South also became a little clearer last night. Portland maintained its distance with Corvallis in the second half race by winning last night. Cowlitz stayed alive as well. Everyone else eliminated from a chance at the second half crown at this point. Now, if Corvallis wins the second half, Walla Walla clinched the second playoff spot, and Ridgefield was eliminated. However, Sweets will have to win another couple of games to see if the Knights can clinch that second half title. A 5-run 5th inning was too much for the Mariners to overcome last night in a 9-4 loss at home to San Diego at T-Mobile Park. The lone bright spot on the night for Seattle was rookie Tim Lopes hitting his first Major League home run, a 2-run shot in the 8th. Padres hit 4 homers last night, one of which off a loser Wade LeBlanc. He dropped to 6-5, going 5 innings, allowing 5 runs, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, and a walk. 2 teams wrap up the quick 2-game series underway this afternoon. Now, prior to last night's ball game, the Mariners learned Tim Beckham was being suspended by Major League Baseball for 80 games. Beckham tested positive for a steroid and will miss the rest of this season and the first 32 games of the 2020 season without pay. In the American League West last night, as we look at the Les Schwab scoreboard, Tucker Barnhart hit 2 of Cincinnati's 5 home runs in the Reds' 8-4 win over the Angels. Dustin Garneau's 3-run home run highlighted an 8-run second inning as Oakland beat the Cubs in Chicago 11-4. Yuli Gurriel hit 2 home runs and drove in 3 to lead Houston past Colorado 11-6. In his first start since being traded to the Astros, Zach Greinke went 6 innings, allowing 5 runs on 7 hits to earn his 11th win of the season. The Rangers and Indians were weathered out yesterday. They'll make it up with a doubleheader today at Progressive Field. Finally, the Seahawks are ready to hit someone other than teammates tomorrow night when they'll host Denver in the first preseason game of training camp. Coach Pete Carroll says this will be a chance for the youngsters to make an impression.
This is opportunity for the young guys, and this is the game that we dedicate to the rooks. It's their first game in the NFL ever, and we make somewhat of a big deal about it tonight. Kind of share the experience, make sure that it's one that they remember. We think it's worthwhile to do it that way. And in that also, we're going to play our young guys a ton. You'll see that, and I'm not going to share them all with you because not everybody knows how this is going to work, but there'll be some mixes in the starting lineup that you'll see right from the get-go, and some guys won't play in this game. But it's really the game to get the season started and get these young guys rolling and give them the opportunity to compete like we want to compete around here. We want to see these guys, see if they can help our football team, and they can't do it just watching. They need to get out and play. So excited for that and looking forward to it, and it's really fun to be coming out and see Link first chance and all that. So we'll see if we can show you some good ball.
So sorry, 12s. No Russell Wilson tomorrow night. Probably no Bobby Wagner and many other first stringers. Geno Smith, Paxton Lynch going to be a quarterback tomorrow night. That game kicks off at 7 o'clock at CenturyLink Field. That's sports. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric, and we're excited for the Seahawks. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
NCW Life Channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.